So, welcome back. So, now we're going to be dealing with contraband goods. Contraband goods are products that are not allowed to enter a country or to leave a country. Nigeria might tell you, oh, we don't want these goods to leave our country. So, it becomes difficult to ship outside Nigeria because already they've identified the goods as something, a good they don't want to leave the country. You have sometimes your hide and skin, some wood, some things that they just identify. These things you can always find with at the export sites. So, but for the ones going to the country that you're sending it to, you get orders from US. There's some goods that are banned. Your buyer does not know those goods. So before you collect money and begin to spend, you might finish spending and you go to the point where you want to export. They say, oh, we're not exporting these things. And maybe you bought a large quantity. So before you even begin to ask for money, you go to your shippers because they're your finest point to find out. Oh, can you ship this or ship that or ship that? They're the ones that will tell you, oh, we can't ship this or ship that. Milk does not leave this country. They don't accept. Except you're carrying it with hand luggage or whatever. Shipping airlines don't take it. Some will not take snails. Like UK might tell you they don't want dried snails. Some other countries might tell you they don't want dried meat. Dried meat does not leave the country. Kilishi will not leave the country. There's so many products that they don't allow them to get into their country. Yam does not leave this country to US. But you see, your buyer buys yam in US. She sees yam in the US and she buys. So when she tells you, oh, I want yam, and you say, oh, do they say, yes, I buy yam in the US. It is not your yam. Yam from Nigeria into the US is contraband. So your buyer doesn't know because she goes to African stores and she buys yam. So it's not, if you now collect money and you go and buy several tubers of yam and you go to ship, they say they can't ship. What's going to happen to the money? The buyer, you didn't ship and they want their money back. So that is why you must find out from your shipper. Now, there are no steady contraband goods. Goods that are contraband today might be lifted tomorrow. Goods that can be sold today might become contraband tomorrow. That is why you must always ask your shipper. So they have a list of items that are contraband into different countries. It might not be able to enter UK, but it will enter US. It might not be able to enter US, but it can enter Canada. So these things are things you must find. There is nothing fixed about contraband. They change all the time. Your shipper will be able to tell you, oh, you can't do this. Don't collect this one because they are contraband into the US, or they're contraband into the Canada, or they're contraband into UK. So you need to be very, very careful when you want to ship. Sometimes, if the quantity is too much and you're really excited to ship, you can ship through cotton. You can ship to a neighboring country. That those products are allowed to enter that country through that country, but not through Nigeria. So you can have a large quantity. Somebody can say ship a container load full of this thing or 2 tons of something, and you say, this is a lot. Then you have to do the legwork, procure it, but go to the next country and ship through their shipping line. There are some shippers that will ship contraband, but of course that the shipment is going to be expensive. If they're shipping 5,000 per kg door to door to UK for regular food products, they can ship as high as 10,000 for kg for those contraband, and they know how they do it. Many times it enters, but sometimes it won't enter, and that is a loss to you. The shipper is not going to respond to you because you knew it was contraband, you knew it was a risk he was taking. So some people even thrive on contraband. They just say the things I supply kilishi is contraband. I supply dried meat, but they now go to the shippers who will agree to ship. It's a risk that is worth taking. They want to try it out and know if they do it, sometimes it's caught. And if you want to do this shipment as contraband, don't put the ones that are not contraband together with those contraband ones. Now, if they're charging 10 kg per contraband good, if you go and put crayfish that is not contraband, they charge if they're charging 10,000 per kg for contraband goods, if you go and put crayfish that is not contraband, they will charge 10,000 per kg. So try and separate them. And in those contraband goods, they usually insist that it's up to 10 kg. In short, in shipment, if you want to ship, they might not tell you. It's a silent rule. If you don't ship up to 10 kg, they will charge you like you're shipping 10 kg. Let's say you shipped 5 kg of crayfish now. When you tell them to give you their price, they will tell you if it is 4,000 per kg, 5 kg should naturally be 20,000. But when they want to charge you, they'll charge you 50,000. That 50,000 is covering 10 kg. But you're only shipping 5 kg and they don't ship 5 kg. But they will collect it from you and charge you like the cost of 10 kg. So it's a silent rule in shipping. So when you want to ship, always make sure that your goods are up to 10 kg. And if the products are contraband, make sure they're up to 10 kg, because that 10,000 they're charging you per kg, they will charge you 100,000 even if you're sending 2 kg or 5 kg. So make sure it's up to 10 kg and don't go and put non-contraband goods together with contraband. They will charge the same thing. Nobody's going to differentiate them with you for you. So you separate those ones and then separate the other ones, and it's a risk. And of course, you know that when you're taking this risk, the person that will bear the final pressure is your buyer. He's aware that it is contraband. He's aware that it's coming as contraband, and he's aware that the cost is different, and so he says bring it. So you will now package it and then pass the final payment bill to the buyer. You have meat is contraband, chicken is contraband, milk is contraband. There are some things that when you carry as hand luggage, when you carry them as hand luggage, they don't bring them out. They don't throw them out. But if you go to years where they have to search you, once they identify those things, they will throw them out too. Now, there's something about contraband goods. Be careful, because contraband goods might cost you money. They will return it to you and you will pay. Or they will destroy it, and sometimes even though they're destroying, they tell you to pay for that destruction. That is costing them government money. Because they told you ab initio that it is not allowed, that it is contraband, and you still sent it. So anything it costs them to make sure that those goods are destroyed or returned, you pay for them. And of course, you know that your client will not pay, except he's fully aware that it's contraband. So, but if you want to take the risk and send it, that means money is lost. Do you understand? So that is why you must be aware of contraband goods. And the best way to do is to go to your shipper, and the shipper will now tell you, maybe if your client gives you a list, I want dried pomo, is contraband, I want dried snail, I want dried crayfish, I want dried dry fish, I want ogbono, I want this. When you finish, some things don't go to you as blended, non-blended. If you don't blend them, they will not collect. Wet items don't go. Sometimes it's not the country, it's not your country or the country you're sending it to. It might just be the shippers. If you're shipping through DHL, that is, if your shippers are going to send it through DHL finally, or through all of these cargo, whatever, DHL, UPS, and the rest of them, those ones tell you we don't ship liquid, because they believe that liquid, if anything happens and it breaks or bottles, that is going to become destructive to other people's goods. And they don't ship palm oil at all. They don't ship herbal products. Some things cannot go by air, but they'll go by sea. Some cannot go by sea, but they'll go by air. Some of if you label your product blended, that's ground beans, blended beans. Some cargo air, shippers don't take it to go by ship, but it can go by air. So these things are different things that you must find out before you take these things and go and say you're shipping. Because once you get to the shipper's place and they say we're not shipping these things, some shipment they don't take contraband, they don't, but some do. So when you go to that your shipper and say this is contraband, and say you're not taking it, you're not start running helter skelter. So you must identify the shipper you want to use, whether the goods contraband he can take, whether they're not, if they're not contraband, whether the final leg of the shippers, because sometimes these things can go by air, get to DHL's office. It is DHL that will take it from door to your customer's door. You know, if you want to do door to door, most of the things I ship, I do door to door. So it is DHL that will carry its final lap to the buyer's shop, and they will not take liquid. They don't take chili pepper. They'll say, like, if it bursts, you know, and it will affect every other person there. So there's so many things that they call contraband. Some don't take dry things. Some take vegetables, fresh vegetables. Some countries ship fresh vegetables, fresh snail, fresh this, fresh fruits. They ship them fresh. They box them and put them in frozen boxes. They are considered high, very, very strategic shipment. Once it comes, it moves, it gets there before 24 hours. UK ships, I think, every Friday, but you have to find the shippers that ship frozen fruit to UK, so that way you can put ugu, vegetables, fresh fruits that you want, and ship. Same thing with US and Canada. I think US and Canada, they do 2 weeks interval, so you have to find out the shippers that will ship them. But for UK, if you want to ship frozen food or frozen fruits to UK, you can't just go to your farm, go and collect frozen food and bring to the ship and say put. They have designated farmers they use, designated farms they use. Those farms, once you get those items, they certify it, show that they're the designated farms, show that you collected from them, and then you take to the shippers. That's the only way it can be cleared in the UK. So how do you find those farms? You go to your shippers. You say, I want to send fresh vegetables. Which days do you send fresh vegetables? They say, oh, we send on these days. So please, which farms are approved by UK? They will tell you. You now go to those farms. You tell them, please, on this day, you send to these shippers these goods for shipment to UK. You pay and pay them for movement. They package all those things and they send to the shippers. They box them in frozen boxes and ship for you to your clients. But remember, anything can happen on the way shipping those things, and nobody is going to be, except to do insurance. You pay for insurance. If not, nobody is going to bear the loss. It's only you, or if you have an agreement with your customer. So basically, it's always better to dry your vegetables. I know fresh vegetables and fresh fruits are so sweet and so nice, but the clients will, and even when they do those frozen things, it's expensive. So except maybe it's on health basis, the client says, be sending these things to me regularly. So these are the things that you and your clients will determine. You understand, and they will understand the cost implication, understand the negativities if it doesn't get there on time, understand, the loss that can come up because it's a fresh vegetable and it's it's on its way to coming there. So you can go to if you want to check, you can check in customs.gov.ng for items, Nigerian items that cannot be shipped outside the country. Customs.gov.ng. You'll find out things from Nigeria like hide and skin, wood, back, these. They might say, oh, we don't have enough of these things. We don't want them being shipped outside the country. So when it happens in that case, you can't ship those things. You can also ship if the shipper tells you it's not a problem, but you're going to pay this, and you think it is very important and urgent, and that the client can pay. Then you pass the price to the buyer. So, but what you can note is that contraband goods, it's very, very important when you collect your list from your client, before you run off and start buying, ask your shipper, I have this list, please will you ship this? Will you ship that? Will you ship this? They will tell you, oh, this is contraband, this is not contraband. Then you ask, if it's contraband, does your company ship contraband? They can tell you, oh no, we don't do that, or yes, we do, but at this cost. So that when you're billing your client, you're able to tell him, this cannot come into your country, so we're not buying this. However, we can try. It's contraband, but at these are the costs of shipping these things to the country. And then let him be aware, and also know that if anything happens, you're not about to bear the brunt. Let him understand. You understand? All this kilishi, dried meat. Some people tell you, I have a client that keeps telling me, I want kilishi. I don't know, just loves kilishi. So kilishi can go as hand luggage into UK. It can go as hand luggage, you can carry it in your box and travel. But when you want to ship it, it doesn't go. But some companies will tell you, some shippers will tell you, we will ship, but this is the cost. And then when you want to do that, make sure it's up to 10 kg. Thank you. So we'll take another topic in another class.